And was this kind of Nick Cage's first big breakthrough back into like a semi kind of, or I guess out of semi-retirement or whatever?
Well, he was never semi-retired because he's been making 10 movies a year for as long as he's been alive, basically. It's just most of the movies are utter shit. I do think this is kind of the start of the Nicolas Cage renaissance, if you will.
Yeah, he's a true renaissance man.
Because I think Pig and a lot of some of the other... The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, like those movies all come out later. Yeah, so I'm just looking at... he did Mom and Dad was a year before this. Is Mom and Dad respected? Yeah, it looks like it's relatively respected.
He's also in that Renfield movie that just came out that nobody watched or nobody liked.
I know. I was disappointed by that. I was actually interested in seeing that. But yeah, what he was doing before Mandy, with the exception of Mom and Dad, it was a lot of Vengeance, a love story. What the hell is this? The USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage, which my brother and I, this is kind of a running joke with us because in Jaws, there's that famous USS Indianapolis monologue. And the USS Indianapolis is an interesting story. And I remember as a kid, I had like read books on it. Like it was just kind of a fascinating thing. And I was interested in sharks. And then it's like, we heard they were making a movie about it. Like, oh, that sounds interesting. And then we heard Nicolas Cage was going to star in it. And it's like, it could go either way, like we don't know. And then when the poster was released and my brother and I saw it, and it's like, oh, that's not a real movie. We just knew. It looks like an asylum movie or something.
Oh, no.
But yeah, Nicolas Cage on a bit of a hot streak pretty much since Mandy, because, I mean, he still makes a lot of shit, don't get me wrong, but he's done Color Out of Space, he's done Pig, he's done The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Like, it is some critically acclaimed films and critically acclaimed performances in those movies, too.
It's nice to see him back.
It is nice to see him back, because he's, I've said this before on this podcast, he's a talented guy. When a filmmaker chooses to use him correctly, he's really good.
Yeah, I think you have to be a filmmaker who knows how to use Nicolas Cage and the energy he brings.
Yeah, because Nicolas Cage is always going to dial it up to 11 at one point or another, and you need the right movie around him where the 11 feels earned.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Mandy is that film. It's not the only film. I think Face Off is that film as well. But Cage works probably best in kind of heightened films, like not where you're not really going for realism. I say this, I've never seen Pig, and I don't think Pig is a movie like
well,
this
apparently,
anyway,
according to Nick Cage, that's his favorite movie that he's ever made.
Yeah, I saw recently there was a thing where someone was asking him, what are your 5 favorite Nicolas Cage movies? I know he said Pig was definitely his favorite. I know Mandy was in his top 5. I don't remember what the other 3 were. So
The Rock better be on there. And Con Air.
I mean, he still had a long career. He can, if he wants to go Peggy Sue Got Married, he can say that. He can say Leaving Las Vegas. He can say Kick-Ass. I hope he doesn't, because I hated that. But he could.
I forgot about Kick-Ass.